You are inside now. You made the decision. You read what Arabic actually is. You understood why the difficulty was never about the language, and you chose to begin. So this is no longer the conversation from outside. This is the first conversation from inside. And before we take a single step, before we look at one letter, before we produce one sound, before we write one word, I want to show you the whole map. Because the single biggest mistake a learner can make at this stage is to start walking without knowing where they are going. You will not make that mistake, not here. So, where are you? You are at the beginning of stage 1. In this system, stage 1 has a name. It is not called beginner. It is not called A1. Those labels tell you nothing about what you are actually doing or where you are actually going. Stage 1 is called Al-Muta'aththirun. Once again, Al-Muta'aththirun, the stumbler. And I want you to hear that name clearly because it was chosen deliberately, not to discourage you, instead to prepare you. You will stumble in this stage. This is not a warning. This is a description of what real learning looks like at the beginning of something genuinely new. The stumbling is not failure. The stumbling is the process, and this stage was built around it, around the specific places where learners lose their footing, and the specific ways to make sure they find it again. This stage has 65 lessons, 65 days of one concept, one step, one piece of the foundation laid correctly before the next one is placed on top of it. And by the end of those 65 days, if you move through them with attention and without rushing, here is what you will be able to do. 1. You will read fully voweled Arabic, not slowly, not painfully, letter by letter, trying to remember shapes, but instead fluently, confidently, the way a reader reads. Secondly, you will write Arabic all the 28 letters in all their forms, connected correctly on a page in your own hand. Thirdly, you will pronounce every Arabic sound correctly, including the ones that do not exist in your language, including the ones that have stopped other learners before they even started. Fourthly, you will understand the vowel system completely. The short vowels, the long vowels, the markers that sit above and below letters and tell you exactly how a word sounds. Fifthly, you will know approximately 1,000 words, not memorizing randomly, but know the connected to their roots, understood in their families, recognized in new contexts. Sixthly, you will form sentences, real ones, sentences that say something, that ask something, and that deny something. Seventhly, you will hold a basic conversation in Arabic, not perfectly, not fluently, but genuinely, a real exchange between you and another person in Arabic, understood on both sides. That is what 65 days builds. That is what this stage all about. Now let me show you how those 65 days are organized, because knowing the structure before you enter it changes how you experience every lesson inside it. The first thing we do before any letter, before any word, is train your mouth. Module 0, 3 lessons, the sound system of Arabic. This is where almost every course gets it wrong. They show you a letter on day one and they tell you what sound it makes, but they never show you where in your mouth that sound is produced. And so you approximate. You use the closest sound you already know. And that approximation becomes a habit. And the habit becomes your accent. And that accent becomes the ceiling you never break through. We do not do that here. Before you see a single letter, you will know the full sound landscape of Arabic. You will know which sounds already exist in your language and which ones do not. You will know exactly where is your mouth, your throat, your chest, each sound lives. And when you meet a letter for the first time, you will already know what it sounds like, because your body already knows how to produce it. 3 lessons, the entire sound system before anything else. Then we learn alphabet, module 1, 12 lessons, 28 letters, every letter in 4 forms. The shape it makes when it stands alone, the shape it takes at the beginning of a word, in the middle, and at the end, because Arabic letters change depending on their position, not randomly but consistently, according to rules you will understand completely. We learn the letters in groups by shape family, letters that share the same base and differ in only dots or positions. This is not arbitrary. It is the fastest and the most logical way to learn a writing system that is built on exactly this kind of family logic. By the end of module 1, you will know every letter. You will recognize it anywhere. You will write it correctly and you will know what sound it makes because you trained your mouth first. Then we learn the vowel system, module 2, 8 lessons. Arabic has a complete system of vowel markers, small symbols that sit above and below letters that tell you exactly how a word is pronounced. Short vowels, long vowels, a marker that silences a letter, a marker that doubles it, and a marker that makes a noun indefinite and adds a specific sound to its ending. Fully voweled Arabic. Arabic with all these markers visible is how the entire stage is written. It is how children learn to read. It is how Quran and classical works are written. It is how we make sure that at this stage nothing is left to guessing. You will master this system completely and you will find this stage and move into stage 2. You will begin to read Arabic with fewer and fewer markers because by then you will not need all of them. Then we learn how Arabic builds words. Module 3, 10 lessons. This is where the root system stops being a concept and start being a tool you can actually use. You will see how Arabic takes 3 consonants, 3 letters carrying a core meaning, and builds an entire family of words from them through patterns and repeat across the whole language. You will learn nouns, how they change for gender and number, how Arabic has not just singular and plural but also dual, a special form for exactly 2 of anything. You will learn adjectives and how they must agree with nouns they describe. You will learn numbers. You will learn how to talk about time. This module is where Arabic starts to feel like a system rather than a collection of things to memorize, because it is a system, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Then we built sentences, module 4, 12 lessons. Arabic sentences work differently from English sentences. In Arabic, you can make a complete, grammatically correct statement without using any verb at all. The sentence, for example, الطالب ذكي. Once again, الطالب ذكي. The student is intelligent. Has no verb in it. The connection between subject and predicate is direct. The language makes it without needing one. You will learn this. You will learn verbal sentences. Sentences built around a verb in present, past, and future. You will learn how to negate a sentence, how each tense negates differently, how the negation markers change depending on what is denying. You will learn prepositions and positions, and how Arabic shows that something belongs to something else without needing the word of. By the end of Module 4, you will be able to construct real sentences, not example sentences from a textbook, sentences you need, sentences about your life, your word, and your thoughts. Then we learn to interact. Module 5, 8 lessons. Question words, yes and no questions, introducing yourself, describing others, asking about places, talking about time and daily routine, and 2 full mini conversations, scripted, practiced, internalized until they become automatic. This is where the language becomes communication and not just a study. Then we refine the sound. Module 6, 5 lessons. After months of practice, we return to the sounds that cause the most difficulty, the heavy letters, the throat sounds, the way Arabic changes when words connect in natural speech. We look at annotation. We listen to real Arabic audio for the first time, and we build the connection between the writing language you have been learning and the spoken language you will be hearing in the world. And then we consolidate everything. Module 7, 7 lessons. Reading short stories, reading unvoweled text for the first time, writing full paragraphs, identifying and correcting the most common mistakes at this level, reviewing the first 1,000 words, a full checkpoint, reading, writing, grammar, pronunciation, and finally, a look at what stage 2 contains and what you will be ready for when you get there. That is the map. 7 module, 65 lessons, 1 complete foundation. Now I want to say one more thing before we begin. This stage will feel slow at times. There will be moments where a sound does not come, where a letter keeps slipping, where a sentence structure refuses to settle. That is not a sign that something is wrong. That is what the beginning of real learning feels like. The only thing that does not work here is rushing. Every lesson is one day, one concept, one step. Move through it fully before you move to the next one. If something has not settled, repeat it. If something has not clicked, sit with it longer. The system is not going anywhere. The next lesson will be there when you are ready for it. And you will be ready because the stage is built to get you there. That is the map. And now you have something most Arabic learners never had before they even start. You know exactly where you are going and exactly how you are going to get there. Every lesson from here has a place. Every concept has a reason. Nothing you learn in this stage is random, and nothing is wasted. You are no longer standing outside wondering whether to walk in. You are inside now. The door is behind you, and the room is larger and more beautiful than it looked from the outside. We begin slowly. We begin carefully. We begin before the alphabet, before any letter, because the first thing this language asks of you is not your eyes. It asks for your voice. And in the next lesson, we will answer that. Take your time with this video. Come back to the map whenever you need it. And when you are ready, I will see you there in lesson 2.